And the pro lights are off. Let's see who's going to get into that corner first, and let's see if we can make out some of the riders. Up the inside, that looks to be Michael Addison from Western Australia. And yeah, definitely Michael Addison ahead of that looks to be Adam Monia, and then Cody Mackey back in third place. Let's have a look back and see. There we have Jake Moss is up there in about 5th or 6th. Well, great start from Michael Addison, the West Australian. He is phenomenal in the deep sand, but a rider that has impressed me no end this year is Adam Monia. He started off the year on a Honda, has moved to the KTM, and he is having a lightning year so far. He was going very well at Raymond Terrace, Newcastle, the last round, and had a huge crash while in second place behind Jake Moss. So let's see what he's got for us here in these opening couple of laps. Cody Mackey's still back there in third place, but just trying to find his feet at the moment, not putting on too much pressure on the back of Monia. Right as the riders head out of sight and up the back part of the circuit. Another rider up there in the top 4 who's putting all kinds of pressure on Cody Mackey is Peter Boyle. Boyle riding for Shell Honda. This is one of his better starts of the year. He had a good race up at Queensland, and right, and the guys come into sight one more time. Michael Addison continues to lead with a little bit of a gap now, so great sprint speed we've seen from Addison in this first lap. It is KTM first and second. Adam Monia back there in second place. Cody Mackey in third on the Team Kawasaki. And who else other than Jake Moss thrown back there in fourth place, and we will not see him there for very long, let me tell you.
Well, Lee, this is the chance for Cody Mackey to really shine. He never gets a good start, as we mentioned earlier. Have a look at the battle from a huge charge from Moss in trying to get through there. He needs to, or he wants to get through as fast as he can. But as I was saying, this is the chance for Mackey to really prove his worth. He has finally got himself a good start. He's in the top 3. Let's see what he can do from here. But he's got a lot of pressure from Jake Moss sitting back there in fourth place. We see Mitchell Hode again has got himself a terrible start. So has Cole Tobin, the American rider. I've seen them both come together in about turn 2 there. So they've got a lot of work ahead of them. But look at our front 4. Here's exactly what I was talking about. All the riders, not just 1 or 2 riders, all riders, all back in the South right now.
This is a smart move from Jake Moss. He is all over the back of Cody Mackey. Now, someone like Cody who qualified just a fraction of a second, is literally half a second behind Jake Moss. If you let Cody Mackey get into a nice rhythm out there, he could start to feel confident and think, hey, this is my race. You've got to attack him at this start while he is a little bit unsettled. He's looking ahead, trying to get past some other riders as well. Now is the time to pounce.
I was unaware of how good Cody Mackey actually did qualify, so it's great to see such a good time out of him, and he does have a great chance here of making a Moto win, the first one for the year. He's really been struggling all year, but check out this battle with our first 2 guys. Addison and Monia both looking very fast. As to our 3rd and 4th place riders, you don't know where to look with these guys. Here comes Moss up the inside, very forceful. Will he make the pass 6? He's got a great line coming into this corner. Mackey doesn't want to give it up. A huge run around the outside. That was a great move by Mackey.
Whoa, come together. How did Jake Moss do that? That was amazing to be able to do that.
You know what? I think that Cody Mackey went into that corner and thought, I've got him back. That's it. I don't have to worry about it. And Moss just pounced on it. So hopefully that's nothing too big.
Well, that looks like, is that one of the Shell Hondas? It's I see a lot of white plastics going on the bike.
Well, check out our leaders again, and look at Addison. He's starting to open up that down. There's a huge jump down there. Can you believe that? These guys, I watched them earlier on. Not even the pro open riders are jumping that deep.
beforehand when you said this is the most exciting race of the day for you, and no doubt it's shaping up to be just that. Let's see as they come out of sight.
Mossy is now into second place. I saw him earlier through those woods down the back. He was very fast, so he's got himself up into second place and has already moved himself right onto the back wheel of our leader, Michael Addison. Now, Addison didn't impress me in qualifying. I expect a lot more out of him then, but he's doing very well. But you're not going to stop a charge from someone like Jake Moss that fast when he's on the roll. This kid is extremely fast.
Well, to come from where he has in what are we? This is the third lap. I think he has just put all these guys behind him in such a short period of time, and that just goes to show how much of a league of his own this guy is in. Well, his foot gets blown off the inside of the bike. That's his corner speed through there as he came past the finish line area, up on the pegs all the way through, and his inside foot must have dragged on the ground and blew it off the back of the bike.
When we go back a little bit further behind these guys, we can see Lukey George runs the lead of another pack. Michael Phillips is in there, and Mitchell Hode also has a lot of work ahead of him with this little group. Carl Tobin's also there. Have a look.
Cody Mackey just blew past Adam Monia. Mistake from Monia in the corner, and that was all it took.
Well, that's what Mackey needed to do in the first couple of laps before Jake Moss had the chance to catch up to these guys and pass them. But it's too late now. Jake Moss is going to run away with this one.
All right, have a look at the lead that Jake Moss has checked out already. He must have a good 6 or 7 second lead over our second place rider, and the battle continues. Cody Mackey sitting back there in third place. We've got an excited girl up here in the commentary tower just giving the fist pump.
Well, Mackey has started to find his form. This is the pace he had earlier on with his qualifying. I believe over this next couple of laps, even over the next few corners, if Mackey keeps the momentum going, he should move himself up into second. But it's all too late, though, to run for the lead like we thought he might have done. There's Boyle having a little bit of trouble over the finish line tabletop this time around. Lukey George back there behind, then Michael Phillips. Then it's bike 16 of Lewis Stewart. And there's Mitchell Hode. He's come through a little bit. 7:01. Brad Groombridge also having a great rider, Talbot rider from New Zealand. So it's the first time we've seen him out here this weekend.
Danny Anderson, unfortunately, a long way back on the Shell Honda. That he's got it on 2 wheels, and he's got the opportunity now to start to put in some good laps and try to reel these guys in.
Riders head back down over the back section. It doesn't like Mackey now. He's up into second place. So he's moved himself past Michael Addison. Addison's doing very well, though, to hold that third place down. But here comes Boyle on the back of these two. Monia's going to have some problems in a very short amount of time.
It's great to see Peter Boyle doing a good job. He's had a couple of good rounds, but overall the consistency just hasn't been there this year for him. However, this could turn into a good day. Looks like not only is he getting good starts, but his line selection's good. He's nice and smooth out there, and he finds himself in a good position.
Yeah, well, there's Monia now. He's moved himself up into third place in front of Addison. So Addison looks like he may be starting to fade just a little bit. It's only early days, but he definitely doesn't have the rhythm and the pace of these guys are running up front. Boyle has closed that gap, and we look back behind them. Lukey George is now starting to get some pressure from the New Zealand rider of Michael Phillips, and then Mitchell Hode closing that gap in, as to his Carl Tobin on the Suzuki, with a huge run down the inside on Stuart Lewis. I don't know where he thought he was going to break there, but somehow he stopped for that corner and makes the pass and comes in after Mitchell Hode.
Now, Danny Ham, Jake Moss is pulling 1:49s at the moment. Now, that is 1 second off Pro Open qualifying time. Not race time, qualifying time.
Yeah, qualifying time, race time, it's two completely different times. You see how fast some of these guys are in the qualifying, but can never back it up in the race. Well, Jake Moss is doing it lap after lap at the moment. He's running this pace, which is, as you said, very fast and up there with the Pro Open riders. the moment. He's out of our vision. He comes up over the tabletop now, still looking very smooth. Jake Moss, the Serco Yamaha rider.
Doesn't it look good, that back section of the track? There's that corner jump where these guys are just launching sideways off it. We can't see the landing from here, but I tell you what, I wouldn't want to get too rough. Landing like that, you'd have a big cartwheel.
Well, there is a lot of bumps developing down in that area. I was down there filming earlier on, and that was only in the second practice, so it'd be a lot worse now than it was earlier. Here's our leader coming over the finish line once again, and have a look at the lead that he has got. That is enormous. We thought the last race had an enormous lead. By the end of this one, he is going to have himself a 40-second lead, no doubt at all. He's Cody Mackey in second, and Adam Bonnier now has picked up the lead as well. He's starting to close back in on Cody Mackey after that little great start he had, but I don't know, the first two laps just didn't go his way. He lost a couple of places.
It looks like these riders here, Luke George, Michael Phillips, Mitchell Hode and Kyle Tobin, they're all closing up a little bit, Annie.
All these four we're talking about, you cannot let these guys get a good start and run the first 2 or 3 laps at the pace they do. They just make too much ground, and by the time you do all the hard work, it's too late. These guys have already got too much ground to make up.
Now we are not even close to halfway through this race. We've still got a good 5 minutes before we're halfway through. This race being 30 minutes plus 1 lap. If you factor in, Andy, the fact that by the time the race leader comes through, it could be 31 and a half minutes by the time they get that last lap board. And if you're not at the leader, you're halfway through the pack. This could turn into well over a 35-minute race.
Number 2 and the pro lights were underway. Someone's got a terrible start and even stalled it. And it's Addison.
Lewis Calvin.
And Danny Anderson.
Danny Anderson.
There we go, Danny Anderson.
Mitchell Hode has got the lead.
Oh,
if he
briefly.
Danny Anderson has taken it back again.
Well, guess what? It's been answered. There is Mossy back there in 7th place, and Kyle Tobin is right behind him. As to his Cody Mackey, we have great starts. All of our top runners. Michael Phillips also is up there. Addison. And there we go with Mossy. This is going to be an awesome race.
Well, that's what we wanted, was a good start from Mitchell Hoad. He's back there in second place. Danny Anderson has found the fire in the belly after a less than successful first race due to a lack of energy with a cold. He has come out, nailed the whole shot, and let's see how long he can stay up here. Who knows, he might be able to find that a little bit extra.
Sorry, Lee Hogan. Michael Phillips had a huge sideways moment there, a big in-swinger as he went through that big bump just here in the middle of the track, but he's managed to hold on. Have a look at Matty Moss. Jake Moss, I should say. Jake Moss. Not Matt Moss, he didn't go for it. Jake Moss has now moved up one more place.
And have a look at how rough that front section of the track is. Single file coming down there. Jake Moss is back there in about sixth place. He hasn't done his usual charge through the pack in his first half of the first lap. Normally we'd see him up there in the top three already. So, is Mitchell Hoad going to step up and challenge Danny Anderson? We're going to have to wait to see. It won't be too long and they'll be popping back up out of vision.
Well, Hoadie was very fast early on in that, late on in that first moto through those woods. As we look to the tabletop, Hoadie side by side with Danny Anderson scrubs the Jesus out of that bike and has moved himself into the lead. Danny Anderson in second, Phillips in third, and look at that, there is Jake Moss now in fourth. Where is Kyle Tobin? We expected to see him make some moves early. He was there with Mossy. Have a look at Mossy up the inside once again on Michael Phillips. Danny Anderson off the side of the track.
Well, now what we need here is some of these guys to hold up Jake Moss just for a little bit, but how is the roiling of the rut from Jake Moss? Mitchell Hoad needs to just be head down, bum up, see if he can put a little bit of a gap now, because Jake Moss has now moved into second.
He's on a charge, that is for sure. This is going to be a rip snorter by the time we're finished here. I know Mitchell Hoad will not give it up that easy when it comes to the point. In Tasmania, when it got to the point, Jake Moss made a pass straight away. Mitchell Hoad got him back, and that's where the battle started. Hopefully we'll be seeing this again. There is Cody Mackey, who ran third in the first race. He is back a little bit further this time. He has some work ahead of him. But there, although in saying that, he might have watched Matty Moss do that same move earlier and made a pass, but Mitchell Hoad is ready for a fight, and that's what he's going to give him.
Well, he's definitely got an old head on his shoulders. Mitchell Hoad has been around for a long time, even though we still think of him as reasonably young, and he was not afraid to get in there and get in the mix. He won't be psyched out by Jake Moss.
I'll tell you who's starting to look pretty good. Lewis Calvin has gone past Michael Addison. Michael Phillips, and now sits in fourth place right behind Danny Anderson.
Yeah, well, Lewis Calvin was a long way back in that first moto. He was battling with John Williamson back in 11th, 12th and 13th there in those mid stages of the race. And how close are these guys? It is, in certain parts of the track, with how deep these ruts are, it gets a little bit single file, and it takes a real creative rider to be able to find some passing opportunities.
It does make it a little bit tight through there as we look back to our tabletop right there in the centre. Mitchell Hoad still holds the line, but I saw Jake Moss have a big moment before they went down out of sight. Got the rear of the bike very hard. Still managed to hold on to it, didn't lose it down, but we can see he's charging. Have a look at the inside line here from Mossy. He knows that good line. Hoadie's out a little bit wider and closes right in on him. It's going to be somewhere Mitchell Hoad will have to have a look at later in this race. It's going to be a passing opportunity.
Now the scary thing here for Mitchell Hoad, he stalls.
No!
Stalls the bike, Mitchell Hoad. That is devastating. Let's hope that the Kawasaki starts. He's kicking it.
Start, damn it. And look who now is in second place. No one can believe what's just gone on. Mitchell Hoad was looking so good. Lewis Calvin is in second place now. This is an awesome ride by him. Michael Phillips has got around Danny Anderson. Here comes Cody Mackey up the inside of him and makes the pass. He runs a little wide. Anderson's going to try and come back underneath him, but Mackey holds it on. But Anderson gets back past. Addison straight in behind them. Then it is Kyle Tobin, and then Lewis Stewart on bike 16, and there is Boyle in behind them.
I don't know what to say now. Dejected, Danny. That battle that was so much fun to call. We love seeing Hody up there, and we wanted to see someone challenge Jake Moss. Well, that's not going to happen. Mossy is absolutely gone. He is checked out. Let's look at the positives here. Great ride so far from Lewis Calvin to be up there in second place after his first moto. I'll tell you what, he would have come back and a little bit disappointed with that first ride. He comes from Western Australia. He's used to the really, really rough tracks. So he'd be having a ball out there. The rougher this track gets, I guess the stronger. We're going to see him go. Massive crash over the handlebars. That was a huge crash. He's straight up. Amazing. That was look at Lewis Calvin is now leading that. We may see that battle between Mitchell Hode and Jake Moss yet. As he's still kicking the bike over, it will not start. There is Mitchell Hode going past. That tabletop base is very dangerous. There's a lot of bumps on it. Obviously caught him out. Jake Moss cannot start the bike. Half the field has come through. He finally gets it going. The challenge is out now for Jake Moss. Lewis Calvin, this is awesome, has never won a moto in seniors before. Has he even got a podium? I don't even know who Lewis Calvin is. He's impressing me right now, though. He's doing very well. Cody Mackey has moved himself up into second place once again. There is Addison, Danny Anderson, Carl Tobin. And back behind them, there is Mitchell Hode, and he is looking very fast indeed. Well, for those of you out there that sorry, Lee Hogan, I'm starting to get excited by our good friend Mitchell Hode is now on a charge. Well, it's not out of the question for Hody. He would have seen Jake Moss on the side of the track. As Danny Ham has a sip of his Coca-Cola here, I might likewise do so. The caffeine is working wonders up here in the commentary tower. It works wonders at Newcastle too. Perfect timing here in this low lights class. Every time this race comes on, I'm going to guarantee it is going to be an exciting race. And if not, it looked like it was going to fall apart, but once again it's delivered. This race is absolutely awesome. I see the Carl Tobin now has got around Danny Anderson as to, I think behind them might be Michael Phillips now putting on a charge. Now, for those of you guys out there, spectators alike, that did not see Jake Moss's crash, that was enough to give most people a heart attack. He was so lucky not to be lying on the ground or getting, I guess, fed into the back of an ambulance, because that was one of the biggest crashes I've seen in a long time. And it would take a rider the likes of Jake Moss to survive something like that. But let's see what he's got left in him as, once again, Mitchell Hode makes another pass, moving up past. Is that Danny Anderson? Yes, that's Danny Anderson. But I'm going to put it down right now. Mitchell Hode is going to move himself up in the third for sure. And maybe even a second. Mitchell Hode, if he keeps his pace going that he is right now, could by the end of this race challenge for a lead. It's still 20 minutes in this race. It's a long time. If you're going to crash, I guess best do it early in the race and you can always come back. But once again, with a big moment, he is absolutely pushing it to the limit right now. Mitchell Hode does not look like a rider that's even close to suffering from arm pump or fatigue. He's riding angry, and this is where we're going to see the best out of Hode. The outside, he's not going to do it on Mackey. Tobin and Mackey going side by side once again. But if Tobin gets in front of Mackey, it's quite possible that Tobin may get an overall himself. Mitchell Hode starting to reel in Michael Phillips at the moment. The Kawasaki is doing really good today, as we've got Cody Mackey possibly staring down the barrel of an overall. And after leading early and going down, Mitchell Hode putting on a charge here in mid-race. Jake Moss still running around as he goes towards the centre of the track. He is not the pace he was early on this race, obviously feeling the effects of that crash, as you would expect. If anyone did see it, you would know why. It was very scary indeed. But we've got to keep our eye on our leaders. Third, fourth, fifth and sixth, all these guys really going. Mitchell Hode is right on the back wheel of Michael Phillips going down. Wow. I just looked at the lap times, Lee Hogan. Carl Tobin's fastest is a 1:56. Mitchell Hode's fastest is a 1:53. Well, I think it's pretty plain to see that Mitchell Hode is coming. He is on a charge, and I think it's only a couple of laps until we just may well see a battle between the two factory Kawasaki's.
Well, he does have a lot of ground though to make up. He really needs to keep that intensity this whole race if he wants to get up there. Lewis Stewart also is having a great ride back there behind that little group, as to is Michael Addison. And then Lucas George, I think it is behind them.
Taylor Potter coming up over the finish line, jump number 39 on that KTM. And then some guy just going around a line that I have not seen anyone take the whole day.
I've seen one person use it, probably him the first race, and Lee Hogan is probably not that bad. It's nice and smooth, he carries good speed. It's a long way out there, but it seemed to work okay.
It's actually not as bad as I was first thinking. Right, our race leader coming back through onto the main straight again, and he has got company. Kyle Tobin is all over the back wheel to the ground, and he has got drive. Have a look at this speed of Kyle Tobin around the outside.
Well, he did it from the inside every other time, this time around the outside. I don't know how he makes that turn every lap. Have a look back and forth. Mitchell Hode's had a problem. He's lost a lot of ground, and Michael Phillips is putting some pressure on him right now.
Wonder if Kyle Tobin realises that he's actually in the lead. He lost the front end. He tipped it into another rider, and he come in from the outside, and it was very ambitious. It might have normally worked, but not today.
Wow, 2 mistakes out of a guy that's almost been flawless all year long.
Him and Mitchell Hode continues to come.
Luce Calvin actually looked like he lost some pace early on. He may have found it again. He's got into a good rhythm. Have a look at Mackie though up the inside. Mackie's a very forceful rider. A little bit too early though. He's not quite close enough to make that one work. But he is all over the back wheel at the moment. Calvin doing extremely well to be able to hold off a very big challenge from Cody Mackey. They go through the centre of the track. Mackey with some experience overseas with the likes of Bubba Stewart. It's plain to see how good his riding style is as to why he was over there. Had some great results in Supercross early on in the year as well.
Well, still solid laps there from Michael Addison back there in 6th place. He's not too far behind Lewis Stewart. And Mitchell Hode continues to charge hard. Let's hope these guys have still got plenty of energy. It'd be great to see some good battles going on at the head of that car.
Well, I just had a look. Jake Moss is currently in 14th place. That's only 2 points to his championship lead. Although his championship is very healthy at the moment, he really needs to make up some more points. He can lose a championship from a race like this.
Yeah.
I thought he had no chance going around the left-hander, but it set him up perfectly for the right afterwards.
And just as we say that, Mitchell Hode is actually right behind Lewis Calvin, thanks Hammy, right behind him, and pretty much the same gap as Cody Mackey is from Lewis Calvin.
Kyle Tobin once again, almost landing on another lap rider over that tabletop where Jake Moss came to grief. And I mean, we saw Jake Moss come to grief over that. Imagine trying to go around that ride. Look at Mitchell Hode around the outside. Another big scrub and has moved himself up into 3rd place. So Hode is now on the back wheel of Cody Mackey, and he is coming on strong too. Mitchell Hode, Bike 7, really wants to make up for that absolutely stupid mistake earlier. I know he'll be kicking himself about it. He had a great chance of the race win. Now he's going to have to settle for 2nd, but he does have to get around Cody Mackey to do that.
We just saw Cody Mackey take his left hand off the handlebar and give it a bit of a shake. Now, is that arm comfortable? Is he trying to flick something off, or is he sticking his finger up at you, Hammy, or what was going on there?
No, we're good friends. He's not sticking his finger up at me. If that was me, then I'd have both hands. I'll shake my arms.
Watch Mitchell Hode through there. What a line. That was awesome.
It is a great line by Mitchell Hode, and that's probably why Mitchell Hode is riding a lot better. He's finding these smooth lines. I would say Cody's Mackey's problem, if he is shaking his hand like that, yes, he has a bit of arm pump. And when you're in a position like this, when you've got someone like Mitchell Hode breathing down the back of you, oh, Mitchell Hode, don't do that. Stop it. When you've got Mitchell Hode breathing down the back of you like he was 2 quarters ago, and it's very hard to ride the race you want when you've got arm bump. But when Mitchell Hode makes mistakes like that, it doesn't make any difference. You can ride whatever race you want.
Well, that was definitely a close one. That was front wheel tucked in, both legs off, I think. Even Mitchell Hode thought he was going down there.
Well, it just shows how hard he's pushing. He actually jumps over one of them big bumps down there going to that left hand, and we can't see it probably, but I saw Daniel Reardon do it early on in practice, jumping over the big hole leading into that left hander. Mitchell Hode doing the same thing. Maybe that's how he's catching up a lot of ground to that back section, also through the woods.
Now, Jake Moss has actually moved his way up into 11th place, and he's right behind Louis Woods, who is in 10th. So I dare say we'll see him move up into top 10 very soon.
Got to find a new part of it. Cody carries a lot of momentum up that straight. There is Lewis Calvin still doing an exceptional job back there in 4th place. It's great to see him up there with a good result this time around. As to Lewis Stewart, let's not forget him. He's riding very well indeed. There is Michael Addison and Lukey George battling it out. Then we go back to Adam Monia. It's the start line. 2 different lines going into this corner.
Mitchell Hode looks hungry without a doubt. I think we could see a pass. Mitchell Hode pulls another tear away as he goes into the boom off the treble.
Here we go, second and third. Look at the 2 line differences here. Mitchell Hode around the outside, just clicking up at the gear. Oh, big moment for Hode. He's going to have to square it. Tries right around the outside. Mitchell
What a
Hode.
line from Mitchell Hode and Cody Mackey.
Straight back. Hode, look at this. Mitchell Hode up the outside. And he pushes him wide. Teammates or not, it doesn't matter between these two. They want that position.
Hode versus Mackey as the yellow flags finally come out for the rider on the tabletop there. What a ride from Mitchell Hode as he has found that little bit extra in this latter stage of the second pro light open.
And there's only 2 laps to go.
So it's very much a case of damage control for Jake Moss. It could have easily been out of the top 15. He has turned it into what will certainly be a top 8, if not maybe even top 7.
Yeah, has been a great ride, and that's why he's leading the championship. He doesn't give up at all. Anytime he's on the track, even after 2 breathing, well, obviously one humongous crash.
Now, Mitchell Hode has pulled out a good 1 to 2 seconds already over Cody Mackey, so great energy base that we've got from Mitchell Hode here to have a crash while leading and still be able to get up and come through the pack to a solid second placing. That's a great effort.
Oh, this is exactly... Well, we've just been informed that if this is the way the results finish for this race, that Cody Mackey and Mitchell Hode will finish on exactly the same points for second and third, which will give Mitchell Hode the second overall of the day.
Board is out for these riders, and what a victory it will be for Kyle Tobin. Troy.
Around the last corner, the Suzuki rider, bike 335, American Kyle Tobin, and he is absolutely pumped with that. Second place with legs off the bike everywhere. After a great ride will be bike 7, Mitchell Hode. Third place coming around right now, the other Kawasaki rider, bike 5, Cody Mackey. Fourth place, Lewis Calvin with an amazing ride as well. Then back to Lewis Stewart. Michael Addison got up there, and then Jake Moss found himself 1 more place in front of Lukey George. A great ride by all these guys.
Racing and just everybody that supported me, all the fans here. It put on a great event. This is probably one of the better tracks in the circuit.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Kyle Tobin. second place, also Kawasaki mounted. Very much impressed me in that second moto. Had the lead early, stalled the bike, and an awesome come from behind ride. Will you please put your hands together for Mitchell Hode? And in first place, with a second in the first moto and a solid victory in the second moto, his first overall victory for the year. Will you please put your hands together for American Kyle Tobin? First of all, let's have a little bit of a chat here with Cody Mackey. Cody, we had a couple of really good starts, and you look like you're in pretty much the best form I've seen you since you come back from riding with James Stewart in America.
Yeah, I finally got some good starts. I did a bit of practice on the Hody program for the last couple of weeks, and it seemed to work. I was pretty happy. I was more confident getting third place start in the first race and getting third on the day.
And had a really good little battle there with your teammate Hody in that second moto. That must have been giving you a bit of a buzz.
Yeah, it was good.
I'll walk inside the track.
He knows how I ride, I know how he rides. So, yeah, he got me, unfortunately, but it was alright.
Congratulations, buddy. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one more time for Cody Mackey. Now, Mitchell Hode, you had a good day. The thing I'm really impressed with is the end of the second moto. We saw the real Mitchell Hode, and that's what I was hoping to see today from you. We saw a really good qualifying pace. First moto, maybe not quite where you wanted to be. Talk us through your day a little bit.
Yeah, qualifying went pretty good. I think it's probably the best I've ever qualified since qualifying came. So I was happy that was a good start to the day. First moto, very average start. It's very muddled on the first half of the track, and sort of silent by the time we get up a couple positions already on the way back. So I had to get deep and just keep chipping away and then get back and forth. So not too bad. And second moto, got out a really good start. Me and Jake in front, he was really close behind me, and we did a battle. I can't wait to watch it on right, stalled it. I thought I might have got some damage to the engine. It stalled really hard at the start. I thought the day was over, but got going again. I just dig deep, and I went a long way back, and I didn't think I'd get anywhere near close to the front. I had a lot of moments after that, yeah, at the end of it, Cody, obviously, I want me to be the overall,
Well, good to see Mitchell Hode back in the form that we expect to see him in, buddy. All the best for the remainder of the series. Ladies and gentlemen, Mitchell Hode. Now we are about to present the red plate for our series leader in the Pro Lights. Not the best of days for him, but he still has a massive points lead over these boys. Will you please put your hands together for Serco Yamaha rider Jake Moss?